Hey guys, this is Jared of JKsrecords here. Today I'm going to do a video showing off what records I have for sale on my eBay store currently as of May 2022, which will be in the description down below along with my Gmail to contact me if you have any records you want to sell or buy. Also, my Discogs will be in the description down below, and I'm going to show off what I've got for sale this month. The first thing I've got for sale is a 1977 Japanese re-release of the Beatles' Please Mr. Postman and Money That's What I Want. I bought this many years ago, you know, when I was avidly collecting everything the Beatles did. Now I've kind of, these days have cut down on collecting a lot of the Beatles singles and variations. If you don't know, I have my own personal vinyl collection. If you don't know a fair bit about me, I've been a record collector for about 6 years now. Recently, the last 2 years, due to COVID, I've been getting into selling. I have an eBay store where I will sell a variety of different things, VHS tapes, DVDs, CDs, records, cassette tapes, books, sheet music, toys, figurines, etc. But this channel isn't going to be about all the other stuff that I sell. This is mainly about the record collecting side of it all. So here's the picture sleeve. The lyrics are in there. There's the lyrics for both songs. And in the back advertises all the other Japanese Beatles releases at the time. Or re-releases, depending on how you want to be, And here's the record label that it's on. And the A side is Please Mr. Postman. The cover of the Marvelettes tune of the same name from 1961. If you don't know it, obviously it's the most iconic female pop group tune of all time. Please Mr. Postman. Many people have covered it. The Carpenters most famously had a cover of it in 1975 that became a big hit and was their last hit, I think, in this state until Touch Me When We're Dancing in 1981. If I'm correct, that is. I don't know. Look, I'm going to be honest, I might be a bit incorrect on certain dates and facts. Before I go to the next single, the Beatles' Please Mr. Postman is in mint condition, has been played once or twice by me, but that's it. I want $35 for that, but I am willing to work a deal out on that. Contact me in the description down below. The next single I want to show, this one is a bit on the cheaper end of the Beatles, solo and main group stuff. This is a re-release of George Harrison's My Sweet Lord, a double A side. The other side is What Is Life. If you don't know with the Beatles, George Harrison was the first one to go solo. He produced his first album in 1968. He produced his first record, and after that slowly as the group broke up, they all kind of went solo, George being the first, and then John being the second, and then Paul, and then Ringo, so forth and so forth. And from that solo period, this was one of the first ones that became a big hit for George, My Sweet Lord. On the Apple label, honestly, it's in VG Plus condition. I probably want $5 for this one. The next single is Mary Had a Little Lamb by Paul McCartney and Wings, original Australian pressing. This one I want $10 for. It is in VG Plus condition, I think. Let me look. Sorry. This is what happens when you film a video off the cuff. So it becomes kind of, slurred and mumbled and etc. So the single for this one I want $10 for. It's in VG Plus condition. The sleeve is excellent. No ring wear. Minus the name that was written on the top. I'll show you the label. So this is on Paul McCartney's Wings label that he would do for singles and LP releases. The next single, these are the John Lennon ones that I have for sale. Imagine on Parlophone. This is a 1982 Australian re-release. The single on this one is in near mint condition. I want $15 for it. The next single is John Lennon's Stand By Me, his cover of the Benny King tune of the same name. This is a 1981 re-release, and I want $30 for it, as it's in near mint condition and it's harder to come by. If you don't know Stand By Me, John Lennon's version to be exact, this version was recorded for his album Rock and Roll, which was a covers album. Basically, the front cover is a picture of John Lennon. I think he's at the oh god, what's the nightclub they played at? The Cabin Club. I think it's a shot of him at the Cabin Club, and he's like 21, 22. And the album is an interesting album. It's covers of songs like Bebop-A-Lula, Ain't That a Shame, Just Because, Send Me Some Loving. But the most famous of the songs on that album is obviously Stand By Me, John Lennon's rendition of it, that has now become kind of a classic over the years. And the B-side is Move Over Mrs. L. Fun fact, I think that was one of the last singles that was produced on Apple, from memory, if I'm correct. Please quiz me in the comments down below. The final of the Beatles singles, Paul McCartney and Wings, My Love, on the Red Rose Speedway label. This is a UK pressing. I want $10 for it. It's in VG Plus condition. Honestly, it has some pops and cracks, as I've, sampled this and used it over the years for remix purposes. Besides the pops and cracks, for its age, the record plays pretty well considering. The next one is Creedence Clearwater Revival. I heard it for the grapevine. This is a 1987 re-release on Fantasy. This is a promo copy, fun fact. This is my old copy. I bought it many years ago at a record store before it closed down. It's in a Festival #1 sleeve. The B-side is their version of the Little Richard classic, Good Golly Miss Molly. If you don't know the A-side, obviously Marvin Gaye had a big hit with it in 1968. For this particular version, I want $10 for it, as it's in near mint condition, looks almost brand new, has probably been played just 2 or 3 times by me, and minus then the writing on the sleeve that says Drive, and the little bit of peeling from from radio station stickers. And besides the peeling from radio station stickers, this record is in near mint shape. Has barely been played by me over the years. Next single is Billy Joel, Just the Way You Are. If you don't know this song, it's obviously from the album The Stranger. But if you don't know Billy Joel, he's an incredible songwriter, incredible singer, incredible piano player. He's written so many songs, obviously, Big Shot, My Life, Uptown Girl, Modern Woman, which Uptown Girl, fun fact, was written for Frankie Valli, if you didn't know that, and Frankie Valli rejected it, and Billy Joel did it and had a big hit with it. He also recorded so many different songs. Obviously, Piano Man is the most famous of the ones, which I have the sheet music for in my eBay store. Honestly, I want $15 for this, as it's in mint condition, looks brand new, has only been played once or twice by me, but other than that, the record looks mint, looks shiny, looks like it's barely been played at all for its age, which is excellent, because 70 singles, to find them in mint condition now is getting harder to come by, and is getting more difficult as the years go on, and especially in this new age of newer record collectors. For anyone in general who wants a crisp, mint sounding vinyl, especially from the 70s. So there it is, Billy Joel, Just the Way You Are. This one is most well known amongst the movie community. If you don't know this song, it was in a little Hollywood picture by Quentin Tarantino called Kill Bill, and it's I can't say the name properly, so please forgive me. Santa Emiliez and Leroy Gomez, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood on Philips. This one used to get requested a lot in my DJ days. UK pressing. This is an amazing song. Obviously, a lot of people have covered it. The Animals, I think, did the original version of it, if I'm correct. So many different musicians have covered this song. It is in mint condition, as it's only been played twice, and I want $10 for this original 1977 UK pressing of the record. The next single is an Australian press. I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts on Liberty. This is in mint condition, Australian pressing. I bought this many years ago when I was a full-on collector. The price I'm asking for this record, as it's in mint condition, it is brand new, has never really been played. It's only been played once or twice, again, by me. The price I'm asking for this one is $20. And I think $20 in mint condition for a classic Americana rock and roll song is such a good price and a bargain. Because again, you're never going to get late 70s, early 80s stuff in mint condition really ever again, unless you dig really deep. Also, who doesn't love the song I Love Rock and Roll? It's a banging song. It's got a heavy beat to it. Joan Jett's vocals on it, the backup. It's just an amazing production. The record's so brilliantly produced. How can you not pass on it? This next one is a part of a bulk lot. This is a bulk lot of 4 Tom Jones singles, which include an American parrot pressing of Love Me Tonight, a German pressing of Delilah, an Australian pressing of She's a Lady, which was written by Paul Anka, fun fact, and then an Australian pressing of Help Yourself. These range from about VG plus to about near mint condition. Honestly, for the bulk lot of 4 Tom Jones singles, I want $20. So essentially that is $5 each, which for me personally, I would say that's a bargain. But you know, everyone's up for their interpretations of that word. The next lot is a bulk lot of 2 Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson singles. The bulk lot of this one includes a single, they're both UK pressings, but the bulk lot includes a single that is called Looking Through the Window, and then the other single is Michael Jackson's solo effort, Ben, the song about a dying rat. For this bulk lot, I want $10 for it. I know, not expensive, but not cheap either, but hey, $10, I think that's a fair deal for Jackson 5 these days, especially considering that they're going for a lot of money. The next single is Gene Pidney, Only Love Can Break a Heart, and If I Didn't Have a Dame to Play the Jukebox, you know, on United Artists, original 1962 Australian pressing. I'm only asking $5 for this as it's in VG Plus condition. The next single, again, these are a lot of the under $10 records, I call them. Kim Wilde's version of the 1960s song You Keep Me Hanging On. This is her 1986 rendition of it on MCA Records, with the B-side being Loving You, which is one of her own original compositions. For this one, I am only asking $4. It is in near mint condition and has only been played a few times. The next single is another one from my DJ days, Los Lobos, Come On Let's Go on London, and the B-side is All My Head. I'm only asking $5 for this. I would range this from excellent to mint condition minus. The last single from the $5 range is Tiffany's version of the old Tommy James song, I Think We're Alone Now, on MCA. I am only asking again $4 for this, as it's in excellent condition with some minor scratches. These are the last of the recent pickups for singles. The Doors, Riders on the Storm on Elektra. This is an original 1971 rare Australian pressing. The B-side is Changeling. These are both from the amazing LA Woman album, which I have on vinyl as well. This record is in excellent condition, has some minor pops and cracks, but plays pretty well for its age. I want $15 for this, as it's a rare single and you don't see it very often. One of the last singles is the boxer Lionel Rose with his song I Thank You on the Australian Festival label. It's a song from 1969 that was produced by Johnny Young. You know, if you don't know Johnny Young, Young Talent Time. But he's also a very underrated producer as well. He produced The Real Thing by Russell Morris. I think he wrote it as well. And I think he also wrote and produced Smiley, the Ronnie Burns tune. This is Lionel Rose. If you don't know Lionel Rose, he's a famous Australian Indigenous boxer. Very famous in this country of mine, which is Australia. There is one thing I do like about Lionel Rose. There's a picture of him and Elvis online that if I ever had a chance, if I ever had the money, I've said this to my partner, I would honestly get it framed in a picture frame. It's so cool. It's a picture of Lionel Rose and Elvis on one of Elvis's last movies on the set of it. And it was called The Trouble with Girls, and Elvis is in this really cool suit and Lionel Rose is there, and they're both doing like the boxing pose. And this is one of his records from that period, I Thank You, which I wish this had a digital release. Does not have a digital release, but is on YouTube. If you want to listen, I'll put it in the description down below right here. But never been put on digital. Has had a CD release. Has been on a few compilations. Lionel Rose had an album as well around the same time that this song is on. There's a fun fact. Lionel Rose, he lost one of his matches, and one of the journalists said something like, you know, the reason why he's lost these matches is because he's focused too much on his singing. Maybe he should focus on the punches instead, or something like that. It was kind of mean, kind of sarcastic, but you know, it's kind of a funny quote in retrospect, as, you know, Lionel Rose's singing career didn't really go anywhere, unfortunately. He only did, I think, 1 or 2 records, like albums, and a handful of singles before he kind of, you know, unfortunately before his life deteriorated and he went to the bottle, unfortunately, which is a very sad story in itself. Sorry for being a bit depressing in this video. The last single I want to show, I can't say the name properly. Darlie Van, Prisoner would Fix It Up. This is a cool one, on Mercury with the picture sleeve. This record is in VG condition, ranges from VG to VG+. The picture sleeve's in VG as it's been crumpled over the years, and has some minor ring wear. The record is an interesting one. It's infused with many different musical genres. Some of the musicians on this played in many different groups, you know, like Billy Thorpe and the Aztecs, and the Flying Circus was another group these guys played on. So how this came to be, these guys were musicians apparently, from what I read on Discogs and Wikipedia. These guys were musicians that were from different groups. They kind of all got really upset about, you know, having to leave these groups, so they kind of went, well, you know what, we'll create our own music, and they pretty much did. And unfortunately they weren't really successful. They only had one album and a handful of singles, and pretty much that was it. For this record, as it's a bit of a collector's item and it's pretty rare, so the price I want on this very rare 1980 Australian pressing of Darlie Van's Prisoner is $35. That's what I'm asking for, but look, I can honestly lower it down if you really want it. If you're really desperate to have it, I can lower it down and work out a deal. So pretty much that's it for the singles. Now we got a few albums and a 12-inch. The 12-inch single that I got is Wet Wet, Sweet Surrender. This is the 1989 Aussie blank white label promo. It's in excellent shape with some minor scuffs, you know, due to the way it was sleeved. Record plays really well. I would say I want probably about $10 for it. But again, I am willing to work out a deal on that one. The last two that I picked up, which I'm gonna hold camera for this, hold on. So the last two that I picked up were Beatles albums. These are the two Beatles compilations that they did. So this one is 1960, sorry, turn them around. Sorry, first off, idiot. So the first one I picked up is the Beatles 1962 to 1966. These are the compilation albums that came out in the early 70s when the Beatles broke up, that kind of, you know, revived them in a way, because people kind of, not forgot the Beatles, but they kind of were, you know, because the Beatles hadn't created, at this point in time, the Beatles hadn't created any new music for about 3 to 4 years. And, you know, the fans were kind of itching for a new kick, but at the time, obviously, the Beatles weren't producing their own music unless it was solo material or working with other musicians. So this is one of them. The Beatles 1962 to 1966 has many of their early hits, you know, Please Please Me, Love Me Do, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Help, Paperback Writer. The list goes on. And then the next one is 1967 to 1970. What is cool with these albums is that recently the Disney X documentary Get Back, the Peter Jackson produced documentary, actually used these photos of the Beatles for the poster. So this one is 1967 to 1970. And again, the back has the shot from earlier, which is the 1962 to 1966 shot. This album includes, you know, Something, Here Comes the Sun, Octopus's Garden, Let It Be. I think it's got I've Got a Feeling on it, so that's a cool thing. That's cool. For these two compilations, I am asking $80 for the lot on those two. So essentially, I'm asking $40 each. The records range from about VG plus to excellent / near mint condition. But again, like the many times I've said in this video, I can work out a deal. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this first video. Sorry if it was a bit long or too short. Description down below, you can contact me. You know, send me an email. You know, send me a message on my eBay store, my Discogs. You know, follow the Facebook page that I made with my partner. Anyways, thanks for watching. Goodbye.